Lithuanian border guards deny entry to Russian railcars with military symbols.
Here's a summary of the article.
Lithuanian border guards at the checkpoint in Kybartai did not allow a train with Russian military symbols drawn on the railcars to cross into the country. The Lithuanian State Border Guard Service stated that the border guards had ordered to unhook 5 wagons from the train and return them to Kaliningrad region. Empty cars were supposed to follow through Lithuania in transit to Belarus. The border guards did not allow this to be done, and also informed the Lithuanian Railways about the incident. It is noted that 5 cars must be unhooked from the train and returned back to Kaliningrad region, and only then the trains will be able to proceed via the territory of Lithuania. As Ukrinform reported earlier, Russian invaders are using the Yenisei armored train in the temporarily occupied territories of Ukraine, which they built using property of Ukrzaliznytsia stolen in Kharkiv region.
This post received a score of 6,400, with an upvote ratio of 98%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Smart move.
Lithuanians remember the mistakes made during WW2, hence why they're stopping the putty Nazis at the border.
It would be a much shorter list to show who Russia didn't do dirty in WW2.
Well, Russia would have lost if the Allies weren't kicking Hitler's ass daily from the opposite direction. Let's also not forget. The Allies had to give the Russian goofballs 1 million tons of weapons to defend themselves.
Not just weapons, but food, steel and other strategic materials as well.
My great-granddad fought the Nazis on the Krasnodar front in southern Russia. He told my dad he learned the word Chicago from cans of beef the Americans would drop on them. If you ask a standard Russian today who won that war, they tell you that America had nothing to do with it. Shit's sad, but it just goes to show what information is like out east.
There was a lot of mental gymnastics explaining that Soviet losses were so much higher compared to Western, which means sacrifices were greater, which means that the other side did not matter at all with their participation, and at best increased the speed of German defeat by a couple of months. Now it's interesting to read military historians debating that while Eastern Front had indeed significantly higher manpower on both sides compared to Western Front, Western Front had way higher technological investment from both sides: airplanes, U-boats, ships, cryptography, etc.
The sacrifice in men wasn't required, but they did it anyway. And won in spite of it. Fucking idiots.
Along with that Chicago beef story, he had some confounding tales of strategic fuck-ups, like when he was being transported with his company by way of a column sent marching down an open road in daylight with no air support near the front. A single plane took that column out and they found my great-granddad left for dead on the side of that road 3 days later with shrapnel lodged in his skull.
About 5 years ago I took a trip to the various Baltic states, and when I talked to the various citizens who live in these countries, about what was life like under Russia control, and once the Iron Curtain came down and finally they could control their country future instead of Russia controlling them without hesitation, told me how everyone in their country hated Russia and what they did to their country since the end of WW2, and how happy everyone was when the Iron Curtain came down and Russia could no longer control them. Their quality of life has absolutely improved since then.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.